we're doing graphing number patterns. So this first question is just a little bit of revision before we move on. So remember that we were doing find the formula when you've been given a table of values. So when we start our formula, we always start with whatever the bottom letter is. Right, so in this case our bottom letter is y, so our formula is going to start with y equals. So what have we got to do to the top number to get the bottom number? Top number to bottom number. This has to be the same rule each time. So let's look over here. We're getting bigger, so we're probably doing a multiplication. We might be timesing by 3. That would give us 15. And then adding 3 to get 18. Let's see if that's working over here. 4 times 3 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So that's not working. So we'll cross that one out. So maybe we're timesing by 4 to get something bigger than 18. So 5 times 4 would give me 20. Take off 2 and you will get 18. Let's see if that works. So over here we have 4 times 4 is 16. Take away 2 is 14. Yes, that's working. Let's try the next one. 3 times 4 is 12. Take away 2 is 10. That works. 2 times 4 is 8. Take away 2 is 6. That's working. And 1 times 4 is 4. Take away 2 is 2. So it is working for all of them. So that's our rule. So we're doing y equals whatever the letter is on top, which is x, times by 4, take away 2. And don't forget, we're just simplifying that little bit to become 4x. And that's our rule. Okay, so in this question here, we're doing a lot of different parts. So let's have a look at it. This is our diagrams that they've given us, our shapes. There's commas between to show this is the first one, this is the second one, and this is the third one. So it says number of shapes. So if we have one shape, in other words, the first term, so this is one shape, how many matchsticks have they used? They've used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to write a 5 down here, 5 matchsticks used in that one. For the two shapes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which we had before. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we have 10 shapes. 10 matchsticks, sorry. This next one is 3 shapes, 1, 2, 3. How many matchsticks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now I think you can see another pattern here. So we could fill these two in if we continue our pattern, which I'm sure you'll see is that. So now in part 2 they want the formula. So what have we done to go from the top to the bottom? Now remember, our formula always starts with the bottom letter. Our bottom letter is y. So we're going to start our formula with y equals. Now, what have we done to the top to get to the bottom? Well, this one's a lot easier. I think you can see that in each case we are timesing by 5. So we can say that we are doing whatever the top thing is, which is x times 5. And let's just simplify that. That's 5x. Always put the number before the letter. Okay. Now, in part 3, this is the work we're doing today, is the graphing part. Now, when you do a graph for this work, whatever you have in the table on the top line goes on the bottom axis, right? So this is going to be on the bottom of graph. So all those numbers for x, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, are going to be on the bottom. So here it is. Okay, I've already done it for you. So I've just measured those off properly, so they're all evenly spaced. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've got the x there. Now, this thing on the bottom here, the bottom row, goes on the top, well not the top, it goes on the side, okay, the vertical side. So we're going to write the letter y up the side here. Okay, now let's just see how much we need to go up to here. For the y's, our highest number is 25. So we're going to measure this up to 25 and we're going to evenly mark it. Now, when you do this, you can go up in ones if you like, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 25, or you can go up in whatever you like. Now, because of the numbers we've got, it's probably a good idea to just go up in 5s. So if we go up in 5s, I'm just evenly spacing this. I might go up a bit further because I don't have room to do the spacing I wanted. Put the Y up a bit further. And make sure I've got these evenly spaced. Okay, so we have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Okay, so now we're actually going to do the graphing part. So here we have a point 1, 5. So we're going to go along 1 and up 5 and put a dot. Then our next point is 2, 10. So we're going to go along 2, up 10 and put a dot. It will be much easier in your grid book. I'm trying to line one up properly. This next point is 3, 15, along 3, up 15. Next one is 4, 20, so we're going along 4, up 20. And then the last one is 5, 25, so we're going along 5, up 25. Okay, I've done my best to line those up. They're probably a little bit crooked, but as I said, in your grid book it should be a lot easier to do. So now I'm going to get my ruler, and I hope you can see that these dots all look like they're in a straight line. So this is what it should look like if you've done it properly. Mine's really a little bit out, but anyway, I'll show you what's supposed to happen. And okay, I am a little bit out on some of these dots, so I'm just going to fix them up. Yours will be perfect because you're using a grid book. But this should be on the line, so I'm just going to move it so it is. That I'm a bit off with. Okay, so that's what it should look like. Now when you draw your line, use a ruler and make sure you've got an arrowhead on the end there because it does continue. So for instance, if we had another diagram with 6 shapes in it, we should be able to see a point for that, okay? So it goes on forever like this. All right, so that's how you graph it. We're going to come back in the next video and do some more practice.